Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Rowe.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
Welcome to our new Wednesday Season 2 teaser trailer reaction. There was a lot of news that came out this morning about the show, including a couple of things, like, to be perfectly honest, I did not expect. I did not think we were going to get a premiere date this soon. And I also did not think that Wednesday was going to be coming out in August. I thought it was going to be much later in the year.
Yeah, I was really surprised that they didn't release it in October or have it if it's going to be in two parts,
Yeah.
which it is, then maybe September and October. Like, what? You've got a Halloween type show. Why wouldn't you release it in October? I'm not complaining though. The earlier we get it, the better it is.
Yeah, it has been a very, very long time since this show was on the air. It's
Mm.
got a little bit of the Severance effect going on where it's like, okay, the strikes delayed it, and then you've got a lead who's doing a lot of other things that also probably threw some scheduling complications into the mix.
Yeah, Jenna is so popular right now. She's in everything.
Yeah, but I'm really excited that the show is coming back. I'm glad that we got a teaser trailer. Okay, I could get into some huge rabbit hole as to what they call these things, because typically to me, like, they announced the teaser was going to be coming up yesterday, and I was thinking, okay, 30 seconds to a minute. That is the teaser nomenclature, if you will. This is basically a trailer. This is longer than a minute long, guys. Just call it what it actually is.
Yeah, I thought we were just getting a teaser. It might be like the snaps and then maybe coming this fall. I did not expect a full trailer. I did not expect premiere dates. That was really the most shocking thing to me.
Yeah, we'll have a couple of things we're going to get into here based on this teaser. We're also just going to talk about everything we kind of know
Mhm.
about what is coming up this
Yeah.
season, what it's going to look like, some things that leave me very encouraged as somebody who felt like the first season did a lot right, but still had a couple of things that they could have improved on.
Mhm.
Before we go any further, though, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because we will be back in August as well as September to talk all about Wednesday, what's going on with all of these characters. And as of right now, we are in the midst of covering The Handmaid's Tale here at the channel, in addition to The Last of Us, and we have other shows coming up, including Dexter Resurrection, just in case Wednesday is not creepy enough for you. And then also Alien Earth is coming at some point this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. So hit that subscribe button, stick with us. Another Netflix show that is dropping this week is You.
Yeah.
Coming up tomorrow, Thursday. So we will have a review up here for that as well. And also over on our Patreon, we'll leave a link for you below. If you join our Patreon, you can check out our exclusive videos. Is the only place you can get these weekly reviews of Murderbot and Criminal Minds Evolution coming up very soon. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined.
Thank you, guys. Now, since you mentioned You there, I want to send a message to Jenna, since I know she's clearly watching this video.
Right.
Jenna, please appear in the final season of You. You were there in the past. I'm saying this as though the show has not already filmed and
I
been through all
know.
of post-production at this point, but it would just be so great. It would make me very, very happy.
I'd be very happy to see her, even if it's just 30 seconds. I'll take it, as long as I thought the teaser would be. So, if you're wondering when the premiere dates are, this is going to be broken up into two parts. So, it's not going to be a whole drop all at once. We're going to get half, presumably, and then another half. So, August 6th is when we're going to get the first part. And then coming up on September 3rd is when we are going to get the second part.
Okay, so a couple of big picture things here in general when it comes to Wednesday, and this is without even diving fully into the teaser itself. One of them is that this season is presumably, and Jenna has said this, going to be a lot darker than what we had the first season, which, you know, for me personally, I very, very much appreciate. I know that there were some people out there who said that the first season was a little bit too much like a CW mid-2000s show, which I felt like was a little harsh. At the same time, I'm somebody who watched The Flash on the CW a lot longer than I should have, because, man, that show fell off after a few different seasons. I feel like we are going to get something that is pretty dark and creepy and twisted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a really huge fan of the Addams Family, the movies, the show, way back in the, oh my God, I'm aging myself here. But I mean, I really did appreciate what they did with Wednesday. This is focused on a character who's in high school, right? Like
Yeah.
the actual Addams Family movies and TV show is more about the parents, and the kids were kind of supporting characters in it. So it was, there's of course comedy in it and a little more of a maturity with that. And of course, darker because we're looking at adults. Here, we're looking at Wednesday. She's a teenager. She's in high school. Like, yeah, there's some obviously dark elements to it. They kept the comedy of it, which I really liked. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't have as much of a problem with that just because this is focused on a teenager.
The thing that I am the most happy about, and I say this knowing that I don't even think Jenna liked it, is that there's not a love triangle storyline moving forward. They are moving right along. And with that, thank you, Tim Burton, producers of Wednesday, everybody else involved. It was the most annoying thing about the first season. I feel like this character, if you're gonna have a Wednesday Addams romance, that's like a season 3, season 4 thing. It's like I am not watching this show for romance. I'm watching it to be weirded out, to have a good time, and to see a good mystery. Like I will be okay if you never have a romance in here, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, I don't need a Wednesday Adams romance. I'm fine without it. I'm here for the murder mystery of it all.
Yeah, and that's what this show did very well in season 1, and
Yeah.
it certainly seems based on the teaser that we're gonna have a lot more of that. I mean, just one thing cast-wise that I'm really excited, and it's nice to see the show's promoting this already. Steve Buscemi, welcome to the world of Wednesday. This is very, very gratifying. It almost makes up for the fact that Gwendolyn Christie is now off with the goats over on Severance, but at least we get you.
Yeah, I am really excited about that. And it's not just because Steve Buscemi looks exactly like my dad. Shout out, dad. I love him so much. From the first time I ever saw him play Mr. Pink over on Reservoir Dogs, I just absolutely love him. So I'm extremely excited to see him come in a professor role.
Yeah, I just think the more weird performers Wednesday can get, and I don't think Steve Buscemi would be offended by me saying that. I just think the
No.
better it is. I mean, you already have Fred Armisen, you have
Yep.
Lady Gaga is gonna be on this season in
Crazy.
some capacity. Now, I don't want anybody to get your hopes up. I don't think this is gonna be anything more than like a 1 or 2 episode
How
gig.
dare
Well,
you? My hopes are so high.
okay, get a rope and pull your hopes down then
Oh
from
my
the
God.
heavens.
Okay, I have my hard hat on.
It's just based on like when that was announced, and they're still being kind of secretive about the role. So I'm not
Yeah.
expecting a lot there, but I think it's just going to be something that's a little bit fun. Like it's okay for this show to do things that are weird and wacky and out there, as long
sure.
as as long as whatever you do story wise makes sense in the rules of the show that you've established. I'm okay to suspend disbelief. I'm okay to
Mhm.
throw a million different supernatural creatures in there. Like none of that really matters to me as long as it makes sense for these characters.
Absolutely.
Okay, so those are sort of the big additions. I mean, the teaser itself, you can sort of see from watching it. It's like, okay, they're not going to do anything that strays that far from season 1 story-wise.
No, and I mean they're hitting all the same comedy, which I'm really actually happy about. There's
Yeah.
nothing that's tired about it. We see, Wednesday going back to the same school. Her mom is like, "Listen, like this is crazy that you actually want to go back to this school. You never want to go back to the same school. So, I'm just going to roll with it. We'll bring you back to this school." And we see her going through, the detector and pulling out all these different weapons and stuff, which was, fun and funny and everything like that. I like that they are still hitting that very specific Adams Family comedy that I've grown to love over all the years I've been watching Adams Family.
Yeah, I'm glad that it seems, at least on paper, like there's going to be more Gomez and Morticia this season than we
Yeah,
got in season 1, where they were
hope
like
so.
kind of sort of around, but they weren't around obviously all the time. That's what happens when you have Wednesday being sent to a different school. Like I do remember a long time ago, like this was before any filming announcements came in. Like Jenna had said that you might be seeing an Adams Family member who was not in season 1 on
Mhm.
this season. I want Cousin It to show up eventually. I don't know what you really do with Cousin It because it's just a visual gag basically. But then again, you've got a hand that's able to be a visual gag consistently on this show, so I guess it's possible.
Absolutely. Cousin It needs to show up.
Yeah, it's just I want a lot of these Easter eggs because we are older. We are not a part of the super younger. Like we remember various iterations of the Addams Family. Like the movies
Yep.
were really the big thing. The first time I really got to know these characters more so than the show. That was way way before my time.
One thing I really want to see come back is another dance number. That was absolutely my favorite part of the first season. And for a bunch of reasons. I think Jenna did a really great job with that. And I know that she kind of, improvised a lot of it. She has said in some of her interviews, and it worked out perfectly to one of my favorite songs, which is Goo Goo Muck by the Cramps. I love the Cramps. I actually was able to see them live before Lux died way back in the day. I'm aging myself again. But I mean, the fact that they even use the Cramps, I mean, they're such a good band. So I really want to see something like that, another deep pull of a really cool band
Yeah.
where she can have another dance number.
I think they're gonna figure out something, but I think what's gonna be really exciting about that in particular is that they're gonna think really outside the box. I mean, ironically, I'm
Yeah.
about to reference Severance again, where it's like in season one, we see Milchick kind of do his groove thing, and I think there's
Yes.
probably at first there was probably a resistance to it where it's like, okay, we can't do that just again because it's just gonna be hitting the same note. But they found a way with the marching band
Yes.
to evolve it to make it be something that was huge and unexpected and fun. And I tend to think that we're going to see kind of the Wednesday equivalent. You have to give the people what they want, but you also want it to be something they didn't know that they wanted it quite like that.
Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, we've seen a million musical numbers in
Yeah.
shows like Severance, American Horror Story's done this, and it's when it's done well, it's done really well. And this was easily one of my favorite parts of season one. So I'm hoping that they will do something like that again, but like you said, raise
Yeah.
the bar.
Yeah, you have to raise the bar. You have to make it really interesting. And I think it just in general, I'm really curious. A lot of these characters, beyond just Wednesday, obviously, who were at the Academy in season one, like how do you evolve them? How do you make them into something even more interesting? Like, I really want a big story for Enid. I love Enid. Enid is one of my favorite supporting characters on this show.
Mhm.
I really like her dynamic with Wednesday. Really, if I'm just being totally honest, you could take a lot of the screen time away from the other like student characters on this show and just have these two be like weird sleuths who are
Yeah.
like going around and solving mysteries. And I would be more than fine with that. I don't know. Maybe I'm the minority. It's hard to say.
There was also an interesting part of this trailer where I think they were trying to make it kind of that gallows dark humor where, she's giving her roommate this doll and she's like, oh, it's made with human hair. I'm like, a lot of wigs are made with human hair. I mean, this isn't that creepy at this point. Lots of people grow out their hair and then cut it off and donate it to make like wigs and possibly doll hair. Like it wasn't that part. I was just kind of like, that's kind of normal now.
Yeah, I don't know if that's in the top 100 creepy things that I've seen Wednesday do over the
Yes.
course of just one season of this show, but I think this just does a really good job of getting people talking about the show again for the first time in a pretty long while, giving us a premiere date. Yeah, I know it's still like over 3 months away. It's like third, but typically with a really, really big show like this, you want to kind of have a date out there, like at least 2 months, if not three, because you want to
Yeah.
get people watching, rewatching, because a lot of people probably don't even remember what happened in season one at this point.
Yeah, I mean that is part of the problem with a lot of shows that have been off the air for a long time. Like we're getting ready to cover Nine Perfect Strangers. I mean, that show has been off the air forever, so we're both rewatching that now. And I'll probably rewatch Wednesday as well. It's been a minute since
Yeah.
I've seen it. And I will say this about the teaser
Yeah.
trailer. I wish that they had given just a little bit more of a story in there to tell us kind of what's coming up. Like, yes, there's going to be seemingly another murder mystery, but if you're going to be bringing in these new characters, maybe just give a little bit more to talk about. Because as I was watching, I'm like, oh man, the visuals look awesome. Like, there's all these cool new sort of like monsters and, you know, everything that's going on in this trailer, like lots of action, but not as much substance to talk about as far as what the story is going to be.
My hope, and this is just the hope, Netflix, don't do me dirty here, is that you will actually give a proper trailer that you will actually call a trailer at
Right?
some point, like maybe a month before the show is back. And maybe at that point, you'll give us a little bit more of the plot, like fingers
Yeah,
crossed. Like, I know we're going to watch it regardless, but it's still
100%.
like, can you still give us something specific to be excited about beyond just, hey, look, it's Wednesday, weirding people out? We already know we're going to have that.
Yeah, as long as they give me a really good murder mystery, we cover a ton of murder
Yeah.
mysteries here at the channel. I'll be happy with that.
All right. Well, that's where we are coming into Wednesday season 2. Thank you to Netflix for giving us
Yeah.
something so early, but thank you guys for watching. Let us know in the comments what you want in season 2. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more coverage. And yeah, support us further by joining our Patreon. That link is in the description. We are covering there exclusively in video form coming up here, Criminal Minds Evolution, and then also Murderbot. Thank you so much. We'll see you here next time.